Good morning on this lovely hump day. I figured I'd talk about the company I used to work for. The company I used to work for is called Unify. Um, when I first got hired, it was called DGS, but then Unify was in the process of taking over the contract from DGS. I had been at the airport for about 4 years, just a little bit. Um, I thought this was a really good company to work for. It probably is anywhere else outside the state of Georgia. But here in the state of Georgia, Atlanta, Unify is not really a good company. This company is not a fair company. Not just because of what they did to me, but to count hundreds of other employees that still work there, used to work there, they moved on and went somewhere else, and they love their job. And they're like, yo, Unify is not good. Hey, come work here and stuff like that. Like, people used to always want to get me to move, to their companies. But, I wanted to stay because I'm thinking that it's a good company and stuff like that. Um, and I noticed something, I think maybe the past couple of years or a few years or so, there's been a union rep that had been going around, several of them, to to unionize the company. Well, I feel like if that company was under a union, pause this, that what happened to me would have never happened because um, when they let me go, they contacted me on my off day. For some of you who don't know what happened, these people called me on my off day when I had a service that I paid for that was non-refundable on the day of. Let's not fall out. So these people called me, demanded I stop what I'm doing to tell me I need to write a statement. I'm like, okay, I'll write it, but you guys gotta wait until I get done doing what I'm doing. No, these people demanded I stop doing what I'm doing. I could have been in the hospital getting triage, getting a blood transfusion. I could have been, anything. So they don't care what you're doing. When they tell you they want a statement and you're not working, oh, they want you to stop what you're doing immediately. And as for that senior vice president woman, I thought she would be understanding of things and whatnot. No, she's not. Her name is Glenda Pace. Um, she was not understanding the things. And you know how they got me. This is how they got me. Everything was done by phone calls on the night of the incident. So I didn't run into no jet bridge or have an accident or anything. This is what happened. I'm parking the truck with the trailer on it. Delta loves parking in our spot or park so close to where we can't get in. And oh, they love to park in our spot. And we always like I have to call or I can't park there. I'll go park at the stuff is falling or something like that. So on this night, I parked the truck and with the trailer. So I don't know if some of you know what it is. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's the cargo loader. It's this big bulky thing. So as I'm parking, I got the trailer. It got stuck up under it. So I'm trying to call to get some help. Uh, I didn't get nobody would return my call. But I called my tug driver. He came over to help me immediately. So all he had to do was drive the truck up while I laid the gate down. And I think I got a picture still. Yeah, I still have a picture of this. So, and that's my boo. So, it got stuck right there. And right here, right there. It didn't stay bent like that. The thing's still up. It's only bent probably about 3%. 3% bent. So when Tabrisha Campbell calls me, I'm gonna show y'all the phone calls too. Show y'all the proof. She's a female. She don't know jack crap about vehicles. You know me, I know about cars and stuff like that and whatnot. So this woman calls me approximately, let me see. Okay, February 23rd. She calls me at, and this woman loves calling too. She calls me at 20:48 hours, which is 8:48. This is after I've gotten the truck unstuck. Then this woman calls me again. 9:02 that night. Then she calls me through someone else, because they're in the office with. Didn't mean to call that bitch. Let me block her. But yeah, this woman calls me. I'm telling her on the phone, I say, yeah, I just parked the truck after I got it stuck. Yeah. But you know what she asked me that night? She asked me, have I contacted GSC about the tug and the trailer? That time we had our tug and trailer was our other tug and trailer were out of commission. They were supposed to be getting repaired, and they did get fixed. Oh, and then she calls me one more time. I had to block her, y'all, because my phone decided it wanted to call her for some reason. I don't need her to know I'm talking about her lame self. So then, the 23rd. Then she calls me one more time that night at, what was the 23rd? No, I texted her, and she responds back to me. How about this woman sends out the email for recovery? She's the station manager. She sends out the email that night, not mention one thing about the truck being, because when I said I got stuck, okay, comments, okay, if you like, what do you mean by stuck? This woman will deny till this day that I ain't say nothing to her. I said I got stuck. Now, if it had been a man, they were like, what do you mean stuck? I was like, oh, yeah, the thing got stuck. And I ain't have no accident or anything. There was no accident. So I'm trying to figure out. But they didn't want me there anyways because they knew I was already trying to leave. Which, like I said, I was trying to leave because I was being sexually harassed. At that job, because I had certain men approaching me, trying to proposition me for sex, offering to buy things for me, pay for my stuff. Oh, let me get that for you. Oh, how much did it cost? I'm sorry, I ain't that type of woman. I pay for my own stuff. My mama and my daddy did not raise me like that to be dependent upon a man. Heck no. Um, so basically, I informed them all of this, y'all. This is all by verbal communication. No email, no texting. Um, so if anything ever happens, y'all, make sure y'all send a text message or email so it's recorded. There's a record of it. Because this is something that I didn't do. All because it was done by verbal. Yeah, everything was done verbally. So I told the next manager and supervisor when I came in, and then I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I told her about that, but she only thing she cared about was the equipment that was in the shop. So then I sent my manager, my former manager, Rico. The reason why I studied on him, because I don't like the bastard, the fat bastard. I really don't like that fat bastard. Y'all, that is one of the nastiest managers that works for Unify. And he was one of the people that was sexually harassing me. Sure was. And I'm sorry, man. You ain't good looking. You is not all that in a bag of chips. I don't know why you keep trying to go after 20-something-year-old females. This man always looking at young women's butts. This man is in his mid-50s. Mid-50s. And he be trying to chase down young women. And the man's married, y'all. Man's married. And he's a grandfather. So, yeah. Just a nasty man. And then one day, this man touched my leg. Ooh, it made me so uncomfortable. That was the day I stopped riding around with him in the pickup truck. Because I used to ride around with him all the time. I got tired of him trying to tell me what to do. He was always trying to suggest other men for me. And then he'll be like, oh, what about me? What about Rico? Dude, you're married. Come on. Like, go get a life. Go lose some weight and go get with your wife so your wife will want to be with you again. Stop chasing young tail. Like, this man has 2 women in South Africa that he goes to see. And he always going out of the country, going to go see other women. He went to London. He goes to Brazil. Like, he's just going all over to these countries to go meet up with other women. I don't know what he's doing with them, but that's what he does. And then he's a DJ talking about he play house music. I'm like, dude, I don't listen to house music. No. I'm like, I am a classical music type of girl. Yeah, my hair is kind of crazy right now. It's early. I'm trying to go do laundry. But yeah, this man is nasty. All right, back to what I was talking about. Well, I feel like these managers, these station managers mainly, because they've been there at the airport for quite some time. One company I used to work for, which was Target, what they used to do is they would like to have their managers go to another location instead of, they get promoted, but they'll go to another location and then they'll come back because they didn't want them like being trained by the people who are currently working there, because they want to make sure that these people are getting the proper training before they come back as a manager at that store, or actually any this was at the time. And I worked for a lot of companies that did that in the past. But yeah, so the station manager's there. There's another one, Cindy Thornton. I think she's been the station manager the longest. I'm sorry. That woman needs to go. She needs to go. or needs to be retrained. Y'all, this lady shows so much favoritism to certain individuals. There was this one APA that was working outside of her schedule. She was clocking in early, clocking out late, not claiming her lunch break. Old girl, at the time when the company was cutting down on hours, old girl racked up about 10 to 15 hours a week on overtime. Yeah. And she allowed it. And then, when they were other people were trying to talk to her about her working outside of her schedule. She's like, oh, well, Cindy said I can do this. But this ain't the only APA that, that was doing this, or probably is still doing this. They allow certain individuals to work outside of their schedule, come clock in early, get overtime, and then, go home. This is the reason why they don't catch people who clock in at 7 o'clock in the morning and then they wait until the next day to clock out, accumulating 23 or 24 hours in a shift period. They'll clock in, clock out. And some people, one guy reached like 100 hours in a week. I caught it. That's not really my job to do that, but how do y'all not see that if you're not checking the timesheet and the overtime thing? Because I always check overtime because my team, I was trying to make sure they weren't, in the overtime, and I didn't want them to get in trouble because I knew the company was trying to cut back on hours at the time. But yeah, they suck. And then this is one thing they like to do. So even if the person is they clocking out and they get 24 hours, they don't want to adjust the time. They will not adjust the time. They'll let those people keep those hours. They sure will. They'll let them keep them hours. So they'll have a nice fat paycheck. And a lot of these people would do this like a week before they were going on vacation, and they knew they were going to be off and going somewhere because they needed to spend the money on top of getting paid vacation time too. So they were her and Debrisha and what's the other guy's name? Curtis Johnson Jr. Yeah, they were allowing these people to get as much time. Like, they didn't even try to get rid of them or fire them for this, for stealing time. Some of these people they had write-ups. Like, when I say write-ups, they had several write-ups in their folder. But guess what? They still working there. Me, I have one write-up from back in 2021. I was new. I was there for a little over 30 days. And I remember it was a day I was having trouble with my device. But after that, I never got a single write-up from the company, ever. I never got anything where I had to sign a piece of paper. I didn't get a letter of expectations as a supervisor. Nothing. I never had anything in my folder. So they just basically let me go because they felt as that I didn't report it. If I didn't report it, then how do y'all not know that the trailer gate was damaged? Make that make sense, y'all. Now, I did have an incident when, back in November and stuff. Again, I didn't get written up for this. And the reason why, I had an incident with another vehicle. It was like an automatic vehicle. Like, it moves and then it stops. It moves and it stops. So when I went to move, I hit the back of the thing. We made a report, did all of that. Everything was good. I didn't get written up for that at all. Still had my job. But this one little incident, all because this was the time when I was trying to leave. I was trying to go to another contract and all of that good old stuff. So they decided to let me go. And I pick up people and at the airport, take them to work and pick them up. if y'all notice, y'all can tell a very big difference since I've not been there. I was a very organized person. I was always working. I was always carrying two phones with me. Like if you ever seen me, I'm always on two phones. And that's because one phone I'm watching the leadership chat, another phone I'm organizing things, getting prepared for the next day. I'm checking the flight schedules when the flights are coming in. I'm checking the SSRs. I even had a tablet around with me with AvTech on it. And then some days, like if I didn't feel like walking around or if I was just too exhausted and I had a driver that day, I would have my laptop. So I would have everything on the laptop. I'm watching the leadership chat. I'm watching the group, all the chats. And I'm watching the flight schedule for international when the flights are coming in, and I'm looking at AvTech. So I was always prepared. So and then by my team sending me the photos of the chairs and the chair counts when I had needed those counts, it helped me to know when it was time to get prepared, because I'm like oh, okay. I had an energy drink too. I had a Red Bull. No, sugar free. But yeah. So that's why, I was really good at my job, because I never let anyone run the chairs. I didn't play that game. If I had to go through immigration like on F, I would physically go move them chairs myself. I had ropes. I would move those chairs myself. Just so I could make sure people don't run out of chairs. But now they got Rico. I already knew it was gonna be a shit show with him. I said hit show. So basically, yeah, that's the reason why I lost my job with Unify. I had been wanting to move up as a manager and stuff like that, but then after a while I gave up, because I felt like they didn't want someone who was a Muslim as a manager, because I don't see them with there were no Muslim managers at all in that company. Right now they have one who is a director. He's a Muslim, I think, but he has a Muslim name. And I was loving the fact that there was a Muslim woman, a Middle Eastern woman, as a director last year. I hate that she had left too. But those people, those station managers, they love to bully people, because they're always because they want to get their friends, quote unquote, promoted within. Because right now they have a friend whom they're cool with. They want them to be a station manager versus them trying to bring people from the outside. Oh, y'all love to bring outside supervisors and managers, but y'all don't want to have an outside station manager, which they really do need an outside station manager, because then they can have someone who can see things a lot differently. And they really do need to get on their game, and they need to really treat everybody equal. That is not a company that does equal opportunity whatsoever. Like, they get rid of the people who don't have anything on their file quicker than they would somebody who has a lot of crap in their file. They just don't. They rather get rid of a hard worker. Like, they could have had me out on suspension for a couple of weeks, and then they could have had me go back through training courses, training classes, and stuff like that. They got rid of me flat out. They got rid of me to where I'm not hireable by Unify if I wanted to come back. And there was actually one director for another contract. He actually wanted to hire me. This man had been wanting me to come work for him for a minute, because that man saw how hard of a worker I was. Like, this man, he wanted me to work for him so bad. And that's when we found out that I was not able to come back to the company anymore. Now, I would have never went back to the wheelchair department, because it's too much. They're so unorganized. They're not fair to their employees. They're not strict with the time. People don't get the points that they're supposed to be getting when they're accumulating, being late to work. Um, and then not only that, you got some managers that don't want to fire people, get rid of their people, and bring in fresh faces for other, like say APAs who want to be a zone lead. They don't want to get rid of the bad people. People who, I'm like, to me, on any job, when you have bad attendance, you're supposed to let those people go. Don't keep giving them chance after chance after chance. Because now when they go to another job, they're going to think they're going to get the same opportunity. No, everybody needs to be held accountable for their attendance. When you come in late, when you steal time, when you're not claiming your lunch breaks, you need to be held accountable. Is it time? Oh, hi. That's my boo sending me a message. I'll tell y'all about the new guy in my life. Well, actually, he's been in my life for well over a year. Before Master Manipulator kind of interrupted things with me and him. But yeah, Unify is an unfair company. I got more stuff to tell. I just really wanted people to know the real reason why I was let go. So yeah, they, like when I say they don't want me back, they don't want me back ever. Ever. I didn't even look, they didn't even call me or give me the option to just go ahead and resign. No, they just got rid of me. When people got caught doing drugs, guess what they gave them the option? You have the option to go get drug tested, or you have the option to resign, and you can get hired back in 6 months to a year. How is that fair for people who get caught smoking marijuana or drunk at the company? Tell me, how is that fair that they get the option to get rehired for doing drugs, federal offense, jail time as well, depending, because drugs are not legal in the state of Georgia. Recreational, or I think you have to have like a card or something. Here in the state of Georgia, medicinal marijuana is. But yeah, those people get to be rehired after 6 months. But like I said, I would have never went back to the wheelchair contract. Never. If I had been rehirable, I would have went to a whole nother contract. I would have went to janitorial, security. I actually have training in security because I have a legal background. I have I'm certified for security. But yeah, I would have done that. But the wheelchair contract people, they made it to where I could never get hired by Unify again. The only way I can come back is if another contractor took over that contract. And I'm going to also brush up y'all on unions. I'm going to talk about unions in the next video. People, older people, young people, I want y'all to know y'all can actually get that company, have it unionized. I did some research. I haven't gone into too much detail about it. So if y'all know a union rep, or if y'all know people that want to get the company unionized, what y'all need to do is get like signatures. Y'all need about 30% signatures to get Atlanta, Georgia unionized. Y'all go recruit people that work for janitorial, security, TBI, who else? Wilcher, of course. And then other company contract they took over was Prospects. Y'all need about 30% people to get unionized. And what y'all need to do is y'all need to have all your friends sign it. So y'all can get at least 30%. So y'all can get it unionized. Y'all take it to the higher ups to see if they will voluntarily recognize y'all as a union. If not, y'all can go to uh, union. Let's see how to cast. So basically, y'all need to go see the National Labor Relations Board, the NLRB, to request an election. Once y'all request an election, and if the majority of workers vote for the union, it becomes their representative for collective bargaining. So them letting all these people go, good people, good employees, people that have nothing in their file and stuff like that, they would still have their jobs. And that's a good thing, because I feel like by that company, what is a let's see what not is what does a yeah. So basically, for you who don't know what a union is basically a trade or labor. Oh, my toe. Union is an organization of workers that advocates for their interests primarily by negotiating with employers on behalf of its members to improve pay. Yeah, they can improve the pay, your benefits, working conditions, and other workplace policies. This means they would have to go by the policy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And unions, they aim to provide a collective voice for employees and increase their leverage in negotiations with management. So I need y'all to start working on getting this company unionized in Atlanta. So that way you all can have, better working conditions, because they really do. And then they need to, it's a lot of terrible stuff. That's what I say. I'm gonna start talking about them. That way y'all can watch the things from a former supervisor for Unify, and y'all can also watch Master Manipulator. Please go watch Master Manipulator. I got part 3 I'll be releasing uploading later soon. And make sure y'all like, comment, and share. Look at me trying to be an influencer. I would like to really do be an influencer, because it's like not just Master Manipulator and Unify. It's like a lot of things that I do want to talk about. And if you all have stories or anything that you want me to talk about with the company, you can send me a message. I'll have an email probably later on today. Laundry room should be open by now. But yes, I'll have an email posted in the comments for you all to send me your stories about Unify. I'll be your voice of reasoning. And I'm also going to look into possibly working for the union as well. Because if I work for the union, I can help you all, this company become unionized, I can work for the people. And another thing about me that some of you all don't know, I was also studying to go to law school, something that I'm working on getting back into. I'm trying to go to law school so that way I can have my Juris Doctorate. And but look, y'all, I'm working on becoming a real estate lawyer. I'm not trying to be a criminal lawyer or a civil defense lawyer. I know those cases, but that's not my cup of tea. I'm not really interested in those cases. If I do any of those cases, I would take those pro bono, because those cases can cost a lot of money. And it depends on the type of case as well. But I would do civil and criminal cases pro bono once I am, become an attorney. I've got I want to say maybe 2 years of schooling left to go to get my Juris Doctorate. It's just, I was hopefully, trying to get a good paying job so I can pay for law school. But, they didn't want me working at Unify or as a manager, even though I know I would have been a really good manager, because I'm not a bad person. You know, not saying I'm, meaning not a bad person. I can't think of it right now. Like, I would have been good because, you know, I talk to both parties all the time and I want to, you know, resolve situations and whatnot. This video is getting a little long, but the next few will be short. I'll break them up like how I'm doing Master Manipulator. But yeah, but again, if you all do want that company to become unionized, inbox me in my email. I don't know if the email is going to be available, but I'll post the email down in the comments, okay? But I got lots and lots of stuff to talk to you as a person who was on the supervisor level of the shady stuff that was going on. And yeah, have a wonderful hump day. And I'll upload the next part 3 of Master Manipulator. I might do 3 and 4 today. I just have certain aspects of what I'm talking about with Master Manipulator. I'm going to build up to it. And when y'all find out what this evil man did to me, yeah, y'all are going to be outraged and furious with this man. This man, in my opinion, he should be behind bars. That's all I'm going to say, because this is about Unify.